Welcome to the Tech Mobility Podcast, brought to you by Playbook Investors Network, your strategic partner for unstoppable growth. Visit pincommunity.org to get started.
I'm Ken Chester. On the docket, my impressions of the 2025 Volkswagen Golf GTI, fire hydrants, repair or replace, and electricity from plants, organic that is. To add your voice to the conversation, call or text the Tech Mobility Hotline. That number, 872-222-9793, or you can email the show directly, talk@techmobility.show. For those of you who enjoy Substack, you can find me at Ken C. Iowa. That's K-E-N, the letter C, I-O-W-A. From the Tech Mobility News Desk. I don't usually read or quote from other people's reviews of vehicles. Usually don't do that. I write my own to discover my own. But this particular vehicle may be one not sure I'll ever get to drive, but I wanted to talk about it because of some of the points that they make and the fact that, honest to God, if I don't end up buying a Genesis GV70 in my future, this could very well be the car I want. You've heard me talk about Lucid, and they are an EV manufacturer based in Casa Grande, Arizona. They're American. And I shared with you my impressions of a few years back of driving for the first time ever a Lucid Air sedan. And if you've been following the show for any length of time, you know that I was first introduced to a prototype Lucid Air back in 2017 at the New York Auto Show, and I was blown away. It was the most beautiful car I had ever seen inside and out. And at that time, Lucid was doing extensive testing on Honda's tracks. For durability testing, reliability testing. They wanted to make sure that their vehicle exceeded, not just met, but exceeded customer expectations. And considering that their first cars were about $169,000, $170,000, good point in that. What Lucid did is they didn't just build an EV. They reimagined the whole propulsion system, EV motors, how the batteries are made and put together. As a result, they have a proprietary EV motor that is so efficient that the Lucid Air was one of the few vehicles ever, and nobody's beat it yet, to get an EPA certified range of 520 miles between charges. And Lucid didn't stop there. Typically, for other automakers, you'd be looking at a huge battery pack of over 100 kilowatt hours. And with their efficiency being measured in maybe, the low to mid twos in terms of miles per kilowatt hour. Lucid made their batteries so efficient and their motors so efficient that not only did they get excessive range, but they were getting 5 miles to the kilowatt hour. So for the same roughly 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, they were getting 5 miles for every kilowatt hour in that pack. Actually more than 5, which is still only one other vehicle even comes near it, and that was a version of the Tesla Model S, the Tesla Model S Plaid. And it was still short. It was 517. And the difference is those numbers were not EPA certified. The 520 with Lucid is. So why am I saying all this? Lucid has come out with an SUV. And the Lucid Gravity can get from 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. To give you a comparison, the Tesla Model S Plaid, 2.7. And you're in the rarefied air of expensive, like $1 million sports cars when you get below 3. And this thing is at 3.4. Did I mention it's got a range of 430 miles? 430 miles. 430 miles. And it's not nearly as big as the Ford Lightning or the Chevy Silverado EV, which they have big range, but they have big chassis, so they can put big battery in there. This gets it done and is fast. And, oh, did I mention that Lucid, again, not sitting still, not sitting on their laurels, has developed a way, even though they have a very high voltage system in their vehicles, like 900 volts, which is not compatible with very much, but they've developed a way that you can use the Tesla Supercharger network, and a car, the rear engine in it, changes the voltage so the vehicle can accept it and actually boosts it to be compatible with their 900 volt electrical architecture in the vehicle. You can plug this thing in safely to a Tesla Supercharger and have it charge quickly without losing a thing. 11 minutes for 200 miles of charge. 11 minutes for 200 miles of charge. As it's almost real close, as good as any gasoline tank up you will. My Equinox has a range of about 360 miles. Takes about that long, 10 minutes. So it's almost as fast. Like the Lucid Air sedan, there are 3 driving modes: smooth, swift, and sprint. And while this article in Ward Auto does not talk about the various questions that the Lucid Air vehicle asked me before it accepted my request for sprint mode, the Lucid Air actually comes back and says, "Are you sure?" Actually asks you that to confirm it. You have to confirm that you chose it. This sucker is fast. And they say it is. They said, while it doesn't defy gravity exactly, it does seem to resist any forces threatening to slow it down. Even a moderately aggressive nudge to the accelerator can pin you back in your seat. And that's for the base selection of smooth. That's not picking sprint or swift. So why is it that Lucid can not only bring out a stylish, amazing vehicle that is all of that? Faraday Future's been trying for 8 years. They're not up to scale. Fisker tried for a minute. They built some, but they were plagued with all kinds of problems. And then they finally went bust. Other companies have tried, but Lucid delivers. And it might have to do with, 1, the fellas who are running what counts came from Tesla. 2, Lucid said from Jump Street that we are going to take our time and do it right. And they were able to secure from a Saudi sovereign fund enough money to do just that. They've taken their time to do it right. And not just do it right, they're excelling at it. They're crushing it. They're not just competing, they're crushing it. Their technology is superior. Their performance, superior. The price is coming down. By the way, you can buy a Lucid Air sedan for a little less than 70 grand, which is less than half the price of what it originally went for. Or if you are just crazy enough to want to go all the way to performance, you can buy a Lucid Air Sapphire. That'll set you back over $200,000. But I think you're going to need, forget a pilot's license, I think you're going to need to be qualified as an astronaut to pilot one of those things. Yeah, Lucid's doing it right. And it's just amazing. I mean, their engines are world class. I will say this, though. Their efficiency for their gravity is 3.2 kilowatt hours. So it's a little bit down, but still 430 miles, though, between charges. And you can get half that back in 11 minutes, though. Heck of a deal. Heck of a deal. And rated as 10 best by Ward's Auto. They have a list every year, performance of powertrains. And Lucid's been up there now, 3rd year in a row. They've been up there. I want to drive one of these, but I'm scared it may cost me my license. But I want to drive one of these. It looks gorgeous, and I'm hoping in the next year that I will, and I will share that with you. Whoever said small cars aren't fun hasn't driven the GTI. My review is next. You are listening to the Tech Mobility Show.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show.
Every great business starts with a spark, but taking it to the next level takes strategy, connections, and capital. That's where Playbook Investors Network comes in. We're your strategic partner for accelerating growth, navigating challenges, and capturing market opportunities before your competition does. Your business is more than an idea. Let's make it an impact. Playbook Investors Network. Your future starts here. Learn more at pincommunity.org.
The new president?
Peterson.
What does he drive?
A Volkswagen Passat.
A Volkswagen.
Oh, it's big.
Is Peterson picking the president up in a Volkswagen?
Pull over.
Is there a problem, Miss Sullivan?
With ABS, traction control, and a high-performance VR6 engine.
But the office is straight ahead.
Oh, we can be a little late.
The new German-engineered Passat will change what you expect from a Volkswagen.
You know, if you're tired, Miss Sullivan, I'll drive for a while.
The Volkswagen Passat VR6. That is a narrow V, hence the R. And it was a high-performance six-cylinder engine that Volkswagen built for the Passat. And I'm thinking about the Passat. This was 1995. And I'm thinking about the Passat because the Passat, to its credit and to its fault, also developed something called the W8 engine, V8 engine. Drove one of those. Oh, my goodness. Back when I had more lead in my foot than sense in my head, I came up over a hill, U.S. and Interstate 35, heading back home to Iowa, and I remember coming across that top of that hill at 110. Oh, what a car. What a car. I think the biggest challenge that car had was the name on the hood. I think it would have sold better if it had any name but Passat, because people expected a Passat to just be a performance car. And that was part of the Volkswagen commercial 95, trying to break the stereotype that, hey, folks, this car is more than the grocery getter or the daily dispatch getter or the family car you think it is. We actually packed some performance into this car. But back then, as is now, Passat just didn't get that level of respect, which is really too bad, because I know the VR6 was fun and the W8 was even more fun. Memories. If you remember the chilling tale about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a respected scientist that creates a portion to separate his good side from his darker impulses, and how his alter ego, Mr. Hyde, began to take over, you now have the basis of how the sporty Volkswagen GTI was developed from the wholesomeness of the original Volkswagen Golf. The seeds of what would become the GTI were planted in 1974 when a secret plan was concocted to develop a sporty version of the Golf, which was introduced that same year. There was no official corporate effort or mandate to develop the car, but a group of diehard enthusiasts kept the project going. And eventually Volkswagen acquiesced to bringing the car to market. The automaker introduced the car to the world in 1975 with the 1976 model year, for the 1976 model year with a planned production run of 5,000 cars. They said, okay, we'll bring it in there. Not too many people are going to buy it, but okay, you guys went this far. We'll commit to 5,000. They built 690. That is 461,690 units. Needless to say, Volkswagen had tapped into something that resonated with the public. And for more than 40 years, the Golf GTI has been the standard by which all high-performance hatchback are measured. When you heard the term in the 80s and 90s, hot hatch, they were talking about the GTI, and everybody else had to step to that because that thing was awesome and still is. The formula of style, refinement, practicality, and spirited performance for the GTI has remained consistent. Now in its 8th generation, and still based off the Golf, by the way, the 5-door GTI is available in 3 trim levels and powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder gasoline turbocharged engine that makes 241 horsepower and 273 foot-pounds of torque. That doesn't sound impressive, but hold on, I'm coming back to that, because it really is. Power is delivered to the front wheels via a 7-speed DSG dual-clutch automatic gearbox. EPA estimated fuel economy is 24 city, 32 highway. Cargo capacity is 19.9 cubic feet, and the payload is 924 pounds. For the 2025 model year, the GTI boasts an updated design with new exterior paint colors and new wheels for the top-end Autobahn trim level. Push-button steering wheel controls replace the haptic touchpads, thank God, and a new headlight design, illuminated grille and logo, and a resculpted front bumper offer a more performance-oriented look. So what did I love about the GTI? Right off the bat, go-kart fun. And if you've never grown up and ridden a go-kart, and the thrill of a go-kart and how linear it is and how basic it is and how much fun it is, then you need to drive a GTI and you'll get the idea. Think Golf sensibilities with combined with GTI performance. I consider it small car perfection. The GTI even boasts an impressive range of over 500 miles between fill-ups while delivering fluid right now acceleration. And I had to do a little research on why this thing is so awesome. Needless to say, we've got lockable differentials and cool stuff like that, which really makes sure that power gets to where it's going. The car is very responsive to driver inputs with four drive modes for added control in select road situations. The driver enjoys good outward visibility. 2 words, just 2 words. When it gets ugly, I got 2 words. Fog lights. Thank you, Volkswagen. Fog lights. Displays, controls, and switchgear are generally easy to read and use. Put a pin in that. We're coming back there. A large infotainment center, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, and paddle shifters make this car a joy because you know I love my heated seats and my heated steering wheel. Seating is comfortable for 4 adults. The split fold-down rear seat folds flat with the cargo floor, which is something Golf has always done and something I have always loved. And needless to say, because it's the Golf package, that cargo area is very square and extremely useful. You don't lose anything. There are dual USB ports, front and rear, with the rear seat equipped with a center armrest and dual cup holders. Another pet peeve of mine eliminated, the spare tire is accessible from inside the car, stored under the cargo area floor. So in the midst of all this goodness, yeah, I have some gripes. Here they are. There's no head-up display. If I'm going to be driving this aggressively and enjoying every minute, I want that information in my face. I don't want to look down. I want to look at the road and see it there. The infotainment controls, remember I said put a pin in that, are a bit quirky and will take a moment to get used to, although not as bad as the ID4. Volkswagen, you had one job. Really. I wanted all-wheel drive, but oh yeah, that's a Golf R. Sorry, different review. The rear camera is awful. Extreme distortion makes it unusable because it's mounted in the shark fin, the actual fin for the audio on top of the car. Ew. Another quirk. The blindside warning system can be disabled by the driver, and that's not okay. And then finally, I thought the seats felt a little bit too firm for long distances. But however, my bottom line, it's fun to drive anywhere. Trust me. The manufacturer suggested retail price for the 2025 Volkswagen Golf GTI, $32,445 for the S, $37,420 for the SE, and $40,880 for the Autobahn. Destination charges add $1,225. My vehicle had one option, and those were the extra cost monster mats for $190. The neighborhood fire hydrant, taken for granted and forgotten until it isn't. That's next. This is the Tech Mobility Show.
You've got the drive. You've got the vision. Now you need the right partner to make it happen. At Playbook Investors Network, we power ambitious leaders with the tools, insight, and investment connections to move faster, grow stronger, and lead markets. We're more than advisors. We're your co-pilots in success. Because in business, standing still is not an option. Playbook Investors Network, fueling ambition, delivering results. Visit pincommunity.org.
Did you know that Tech Mobility has a YouTube channel? Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Each week, I upload a few short videos of some of the hot topics that I cover during my weekly radio program. I've designed these videos to be informative and entertaining. It's another way to keep up on current mobility and technology news and information. Be sure to watch, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's the Tech Mobility Show on YouTube. Check it out. The lowly fire hydrant. In the realm of public infrastructure, fire hydrants stand as silent sentinels that need to spring to life at a moment's notice. However, as even these are critical components of us, even as our critical components of our cities and towns age, how long should they be maintained before they should be replaced? After all, you probably never thought about your neighborhood fire hydrants until you need them, if ever. Welcome to Topic B. What if I told you right now that the city you live in right now has within their ability the power to lower your home insurance rate by 10%? And you're asking me, Ken, how could they do that? Property taxes? No. Let me read this to you. Updated hydrant systems can lead to better fire protection ratings, potentially lowering insurance premiums for the entire community. The Insurance Services Office reports that communities improving their fire protection rating can see homeowner insurance premiums reductions of up to 10%. Yeah, that fire hydrant in the middle of your block, that fire hydrant maybe outside your house. Do you know how old it is? Do you care? You should. The problem is that the average lifespan of a fire hydrant is estimated to be 50 years. Problem is, most fire hydrants in most cities are past that date. Hydrants between 30 and 40 years old have a failure rate of 12% during critical moments. And a number of these fire hydrants, they're hydrants, right? Aren't even equipped to fight fires. The older it gets, the less reliable it is. The older it gets, the tougher it is to maintain them when cities do. And in this world where everybody wants less government, spend less money, do you really think that your water department, that your cities are keeping on top of fire hydrant condition? This is a piece that I'm talking about from Water World. It is an industry publication for the water delivery and purification industry. So I'm talking about this from them. Okay, we talk about all kinds of technology and all kinds of infrastructure. It's time to talk about the hydrant. The problem is, as hydrants age beyond their warranty periods, the cost of repairs can quickly escalate. Replacement parts for outdated models become increasingly scarce and expensive, leading to a cycle of diminishing returns on repair investments. And guess what? You don't know if a hydrant's going to fail till you use it. And that's too late. This piece talks about several homes in different cities that went up in flames because the fire department could not count on the hydrant that they tapped to deliver the pressure and quantity of water needed to extinguish the fire. As a result, the house is burned to the ground. It didn't have to. Do you live in an older part of town? In the city you live in? Do you live rural, where you may have a rural water support system? Because in some rural communities, there are fire hydrants. How old is it? Is your local utility doing what they need to do to maintain it? You might want to ask that question. Why? Because it could impact you. It's kind of like insurance. We all carry car insurance, and we hope we never have to use it. We carry it for that maybe one time in a million times that we're in an accident. And when you are, you're glad you have it. What kind of insurance policy is sitting out in front of your house or in your block? Can you count on that hydrant? Is it recent? If you're living in a newer residential area, chances are you're pretty good because these hydrants have actually not only just more reliable, believe it or not, they're smarter. New hydrants are equipped with cutting-edge features like leak detection technology. These new hydrants can transform a passive water distribution network into an intelligent, responsive system. Lets it know when it needs maintenance, helps with water conservation and sustainability goals, and can save water. Example, in 2019, the city of Baltimore, Maryland, reported losing 23.4% of its water to leaks, 1/4 of the water to leaks, costing the city an estimated $35 million a year. Who do you think pays that? Property tax holders through property taxes and other city levies, higher water bills? It's a thing. A substantial part of the loss was traced back to aging hydrants and associated infrastructure. Flushing the hydrants ain't enough, folks. And if your community's doing that, at least they're looking at them once or twice a year. When I was growing up, that was the thing they used to do. They'd go through every spring and they'd flush the hydrants. And I'm assuming they were checking the hydrants for water flow, water pressure. The new hydrants have the ability to actually inform condition, need for maintenance, and leak detection, meaning less cost for those people for that water utility or that city or however water is delivered in your community. And if water is leaking, what other problems is it causing to infrastructure? Washing away the underside of roads, maybe. Overwhelming sewers and stuff. Water going to waste in a time where we cannot afford to lose quality drinking water. You probably never thought about it, and that's why I'm here. We talk about modernization of everything, technology of everything. Fire hydrants are no exception. It is part of the critical infrastructure of your community, just like the sewers, just like the roads. That fire hydrant. And regardless how you feel about it, it's that one time you need it, you want to make sure it works. And if you ain't sure, it may be time to start asking questions. Because the most compelling argument for replacing old hydrants or upgrading is the immeasurable value of public safety and trust. Again, this is from Waterworld magazine. A visible investment in critical infrastructure like fire hydrants sends a powerful message to the community. It demonstrates a commitment to public safety and proactive governance, fostering trust between citizens and their local authorities. The decision to replace aging hydrants is more than just a matter of infrastructure management. It is a commitment to the safety, efficiency, and future of our communities. Right now, that is the way we have to fight fires. And when you balance this against more extreme weather more often, more floods, more fires, hotter fires, infrastructure maintenance like fire hydrants is all the more important, now more than ever before. It may be the weak link in saving your community in case of a calamity. Questions you should ask. Go outside. Find the hydrant in your neighborhood. Ask questions about it. How old is it? When's the last time this has been maintained? Does it work? Will it deliver the amount of water pressure we need to save any of the houses in our community? Will it save my house? You got a right to know, and you should be asking those kinds of questions. Fire hydrants, repair or replace. It's not just a rhetorical question. It's a question that demands an answer, and you should be demanding that answer from your water utility or whoever maintains your fire hydrants, because it's important. Generating electricity from organic plants. Yep, it's a thing. That's next. We are the Tech Mobility Show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Did you know that Tech Mobility has a YouTube channel? Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Each week, I upload a few short videos of some of the hot topics that I cover during my weekly radio program. I've designed these videos to be informative and entertaining. It's another way to keep up on current mobility and technology news and information. Be sure to watch, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's the Tech Mobility Show on YouTube. Check it out. Since the need for electricity will only increase in the years to come, how about considering electricity from organic plants? Yep, it's a thing. It's happening in nature right now. So the question is, how do we get in on some of that? This is topic C. In my research, I stumbled across this quite by accident. Can you imagine if you walk outside and you see organic matter? Theoretically, you could be looking at a whole field full of electrical possibilities. And it's happening in nature, not necessarily requiring chemicals and manipulation on our part, just some opportunistic placement of some stuff. Let me explain. First, how does this work? Electricity is generated from plants by harvesting electrons released, get this now, by bacteria that consumes organic matter exuded from plant roots, or by capturing electrons from photosynthesis in plant cells. This is happening in nature right now with no input from mankind. This is what's going on in nature right now. For us, it's just a matter of going out there and harvesting it. Wow. These processes, which can be augmented with microbial fuel cells or biophotovoltaic panels, are still developing, but offer a sustainable way to power small devices and have potential for broader applications in the future. Can you imagine Every good idea started somewhere. And in the early days of any idea you can imagine, the yields were small and he had to work on it. And it doesn't matter whether you're talking steel, gasoline, iron, whatever. Back in the day when they were first developed, their yields were small. And as technology and as people applied logic, pressure, research to it, the yields got bigger, it got better. We're here right now. Let me talk about the two main methods. The microbial fuel cell, or an MFC. Here's the process. Plant roots exude organic compounds into the soil. Bacteria in the soil break down this organic matter, a process that releases electrons. Now stop right there. Mankind ain't even in the middle of this yet. It is already happening. It's been happening forever. These two things. So where do we get in? It's the next step. Electrodes placed in the soil can capture these electrons, creating an electrical current. No chemicals, no major manufacturing process, no major disturbing of that particular location. Electrodes placed in the soil can capture these electrons, creating an electrical current. We're harvesting electricity. We're harvesting electricity. And this is happening right now. This technology is being developed by organizations like Plant E to power small devices. The yields are small. Everybody had to start somewhere. What's the other one? It's called biophotovoltaic, or B as in boy, P as in poster, V as in Victor. BVPV. In this process, microorganisms like algae or certain plants perform photosynthesis. That's been going on forever. During this process, these living cells release what? Electrons. What? These electrons are captured by electrodes with transparent cells generating what? Electricity. Whoa, hold it, stop. Again, harvesting. We're not adding chemicals. We're not manipulating the process. We are gaining or gathering the result of the organic process that is already happening in the soil right now. A system developed by the University of Cambridge uses this method with algae and has been tested to power a public garden. This is happening right now. Let's talk about applications and potential for a minute. Sustainable power. This technology offers a way to generate clean, renewable energy. It ain't natural gas. It ain't fossil fuels. It's not nuclear. Doesn't require us to manipulate the atmosphere, the soil, the ground. We're harvesting what nature is already doing. Let that sink in. Because up till now, man had to get totally involved. If you were mining materials, you had to go into the ground by force and violence. You had to get it out, sort it down, and then apply heat or energy to get it to its final state. Natural gas, you had to take out of the ground, but you had to basically violate the ground by mining and drilling down to it and then manipulating it. Here, all we're doing is harvesting what has already happened. We're not manipulating the process. Small-scale solutions. It can be used to power small devices like LEDs, which take next to no power, or monitor remote water systems. Can you imagine the need not to have to worry about expensive remote power generation to monitor something way in the mountains, far away from everything, that's hard to get to? Simple. What's the future potential? Like anything just starting out, shoot, if you talked about EV batteries 15 years ago, you'd be right here. While not yet competitive with traditional energy sources, It could be integrated into building facades or used in rural areas lacking grid access. When rural America was electrified in the late 1930s, out here in the Midwest, we created co-ops because of the capital requirements to string wires and the so few people per mile. It was not economically feasible for a for-profit company to spend that kind of money for 1 or 2 customers per mile. The economics didn't make sense. Federal government got involved, cost millions, if not billions. Here, you don't need all that. Imagine if they find a way to increase the intensity, increase the energy, increase the yield. It's all organic. We're just putting in electrodes to capture what nature is already doing. And like any technology in its infancy, they will find ways to increase the yield, to increase the energy density over time, hopefully keeping it sustainable. Adding this is one more piece of the electrical puzzle that we need to meet our demands. And yes, it's a small piece, but it has so much potential. Don't believe me? Go outside and look. Look at the roots, look at the plants, look at nature around you. All of that has the ability to generate electricity. Think about it.
This is the Tech Mobility Podcast.
Every great business starts with a spark, but taking it to the next level takes strategy, connections, and capital. That's where Playbook Investors Network comes in. We're your strategic partner for accelerating growth, navigating challenges, and capturing market opportunities before your competition does. Your business is more than an idea. Let's make it an impact. Playbook Investors Network. Your future starts here. Learn more at pincommunity.org.
To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
You've got the drive. You've got the vision. Now you need the right partner to make it happen. At Playbook Investors Network, we power ambitious leaders with the tools, insight, and investment connections to move faster, grow stronger, and lead markets. We're more than advisors. We're your co-pilots in success. Because in business, standing still is not an option. Playbook Investors Network, fueling ambition, delivering results. Visit pincommunity.org.